right, here we are. What's up, everyone? AJ Writes Crypto. It's Tuesday, man. Already today. Already, things happening. I know my title. I know what the title says. But I really want you guys to listen to this. I understand we're only down a couple percent, but where we got rejected sucks. Not a good spot. Hopefully we bounce off 48 and turn around. We will look into why we jumped today. We will look into where we could be going if we continue falling. Obviously, we'll look at points of possible reversal. We'll look at the macro. We'll look at inflation. We'll look at a couple other stories. We'll look at some portfolios. We'll do some TA. We'll do the things. But first of all, thanks everybody for being here today. Really appreciate each and every one of you. My guy Des Brooks. Hi, AJ from the UK. #1 follower. My guy. Shout out to the UK. Shout out to the blokes overseas there. I really appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for being here, bro. We gotta come back down to the 30s BTC, man. It's like you want it to happen, but do you? Yeah, we all say we want a reversal until a reversal really happens. Rob G, I will save your super chat there for the end, my guy. But thanks for sending it out. I will do all the super chat, rate my portfolios at the end. Let me screenshot this bad boy for Rob. Awesome. We already got 81 people in the house. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm just taking care of my guy Rob's thing here so I don't forget about it. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, man, so many tabs open. I have 1,000 tabs open today. Maybe 2,000. It could be more, could be less. So I got you, Rob. All right. Where to start? Where do I even start? Oh, man. Okay. Let's start at the beginning. I got to pull this over. My StreamYard's being weird. So, you know, sometimes it's like this. Sometimes when I open StreamYard, it's like that. And I'm like, why? What did I do to deserve this? So I have to go in and make like a new thing. Wait, where's the little button? And then I have that. I'm like, why? But I have to pull. It's a headache. Sorry. So let's get into the stories today. All right. This is the talk of the town. This right here is the talk of the town. All right. I mean, it doesn't end. It doesn't end. CPI inflation data. I don't know why this thing's being funky too. Wow. StreamYard, man. StreamYard just doesn't want to mess with me today. All right. So CPI inflation. Prices rose more than expected in January, and inflation won't go away. What does this one? What does this one say? Stock market today. U.S. stocks fall after inflation cools less than anticipated. U.S. stocks fell on Tuesday, sliding away from recent highs as investors digested a hotter than expected January inflation report that prices cooled slower than forecasts anticipated. And then, you know, that is kind of across the board what they all say. This one too. The consumer price index, aka the CPI, increased 0.03% in January. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported. On a 12-month basis, that came out to 3.1% down from 3.4% in December. Shelter prices accounted for much of the rise, climbing 0.6% on the month, contributing to more than 2/3 of the headline increase. On a 12-month basis, shelter rose 6%, and stocks slid sharply following the release of the Treasury yield surge higher. Okay, so a couple other things I want to look at here. I really like this account, Heather Long. She posts some pretty good stuff here and there, especially about the macro. I like following the macro. I like it, like you all should. Just in U.S. inflation, it was 3.1% year-on-year in January, down significantly from 2.46% a year ago. Falling prices for energy and many goods are really helping inflation cool off. And this other tweet here is very good as well. Inflation is really being driven by rent and services now. Let me highlight a few. Auto insurance, 20.6%, the largest increase since 1976. Damn. Non-prescription drugs, 9.2%, largest ever. Repair household items, 18.2%, largest ever. And sport events, 13.5%. Yeah, so this is why crypto has had a little dent today. This is why the S&P has had a little dent today. The macro is still the conditions are still not the best. The forecast said one thing, and the market did another. The Wall Street Journal article on it is pretty good as well. Consumer prices rose 3.1% in the year through January, only a slight moderation from the previous month, excluding food and core prices held roughly steady. Not going to get into all the logistics. What's up, Jay Chains? Come say hello. Come say hi. I'll give someone $50 if you jump in the pool. Hey,
no swimming today, man. It's too cold.
It is freezing out there today. But Ricky, we got Ricky Burris with a $5 super chat. Let's go, AJ. Give all us groggers the 2-stroke alpha. All right. Hell yeah. Ring, ring, ring. Har, har, har. He's talking about the dirt bikes that are high pitched, not the low pitched dirt bikes. And you have to understand motocross to understand that super chat. Wow. You just totally threw my mind off there. All right. So I just want to talk about dirt bikes now. Sorry. All right. This is AJ. AJ talks dirt bikes. No more crypto, no more alpha, no TA, no portfolios. Let's just talk about what's up? Sure. You want to come say hello?
Yeah. I just had an eye test for my fight. My vision is 20/20, but they dilated my eyes. I can't read. I can't see right now.
Can you see this? I was just kidding.
AJ, put your never mind. Sorry. What was that? The size reminded me of something else.
You good?
Yeah, I can't see. I'm blurry.
Oh,
they dilated my eyes.
Did you drive afterwards?
Yeah, so I can drive. I just can't read.
Oh, okay.
It's really
that's unfortunate.
But I'm getting glasses.
What time for TA today? What time? Do you still do it at 1 or late or before?
No, come on. We'll do it early today because we're going to be doing it and because I'll need a break.
Okay.
So just come on at like 12:30.
Okay, perfect. 12:30. All right, doing TA on the Ben Armstrong Crypto Experience today at 12:30. Make sure you jump over and give Ben some support. He's bringing the live stream back. Absolutely love to see it. So yeah. So long story short, we kind of covered already that the macro, the inflation gauge came in hotter than expected. It's being stubborn, and that affects the macro. That affects the macro big time. And this is, people are already leaning to when will there be a rate cut? If inflation isn't, if this is happening, like we won't be able to do a rate cut. You know what I mean? See right there, someone said in the chat, Fed cut will come in May, not March. Well, we were already talking March wasn't happening. Now we're already talking, will the next one happen is what I'm saying. And that's obviously really not the best for everyone's hopes and dreams. Going to X out a bunch of these inflation tabs since I covered that topic already. I want to go to the Bitcoin chart really fast. Let me X out these tabs here so I can actually see what I'm doing. Actually, before I go to Bitcoin, let's do a little teeny tiny bit of housekeeping. Share this tab instead. TA on Caspa, sure, I can do that at the end of the show, no problem. All right, boom. Okay, so little overview of the market. Bitcoin 48.8 was really good to get above 50. I was hoping we could bounce and stay above 50. Ethereum 26, BNB 322, Solana 110. So things have came down a little bit from the little pump up we had last night. Trading conditions were pretty solid last night. Wanted to go look at the gainers and the losers. We want to isolate that volatility. We want to see, what coins are moving, what coins are not moving. Where is the volatility? Where can we isolate a trade? All right. So 100 Ashka network. That's what I need to learn about. 10% up. Mantle 7.7. Blur 8. Render 5. I bought some Render last night. Ordi 4.8% up. Pith network. I also bought some Pith a couple days ago. I bought like $1,000 of it. I think that's going to be, that's my private portfolio, but that Pith is definitely going to make my public portfolio as well. I might do like an Oracle DCA week. All right. So losers, Caspa down 5%, Mina down 4%, Axie Infinity, Bitcoin Cash, TAO, that one's in the talk of the town. Chainlink down 3%. All right. So really a couple things on Thursday. I will get to the charts here in just one moment, but share this headline instead. On Thursday, 2 p.m. EST, I will be interviewing Stacy from Algorand. Big shout out to the Algorand Foundation. Big shout out to Stacy and the Algo fam. She is the CEO of the Algorand Foundation. I mean, this is a very big deal. Definitely, I will copy paste this tweet here in the chat if you want to be there. I mean, this is, I mean, John's the CTO, Stacy's the CEO. Okay, so this is a very big interview. It's going to be a Twitter space, but we're also going to record it on the back end so people can. Why is my camera so small on the bottom? What is going on with StreamYard today? Okay, I guess I'll go with this one. But yeah, this is big. We're going to do a Twitter space, but we're also going to record it and put the full interview out if you missed the live space. But if you're at the live space, that'd be amazing. Big shout out to them. I'm very excited to do that space with Stacy. She is really cool, and I'm really looking forward to having that conversation with her. I submitted all the questions yesterday. She greenlit every one of them. Stacy greenlit every one of my questions, and it is spicy. It is spicy. I mean, Stacy, her ex account got compromised. She got hacked, and base Stacy took over for a little while. We're going to talk about the hack. If you follow Algorand and the transparency report, the whole thing with Arrington Capital, that topic is going to be brought up as well. We're talking a little bit about the roadmap. We're talking strategy. We're talking marketing. We're talking everything you'd really want to know about what the hell is Algorand doing right now? What can I expect in this year, next year, and the years to come? I'm asking all the questions, and they all got a green light. And I was very surprised that they didn't make any changes. Like, I'll type a rough draft of all the questions I'm going to ask and submit them. And I do, and I put questions in there that I'm like, oh, they're going to take this one out, but I'm going to make them take it out. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to ask questions that no one wants to answer. And I'll know, like, oh, they'll probably take this one out, but at least I'll try. And they greenlit every single one. So you guys are not going to want to miss this interview with Stacy Wood of Algorand. And I'm not throwing her curveballs. I'm not throwing her under the bus or anything like that. I got nothing but respect for Casey. Obviously, I'm very bullish on Algorand. I want it to look good. But, there are tough questions. And people are, knocking on the door saying, hey, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? And there's nothing wrong with that. And I just get to be the person that asks them. And, I'll do it with respect. I'm not trying to throw her under a bus. I don't want to argue with her. I like Stacy. I like Algorand. I don't want to be a bad thing. It's going to be a good interview. But she did green light all the questions that I typed. So it's going to be good. I'm super excited for that interview. So make sure you guys are around for that one on Thursday, 2 p.m. EST. Also, the fourth and final space with PAL AI, doing that one today. Big shout out to PAL for doing these 4 spaces with me about all the things PAL. Reason I'm doing these spaces because we kind of have a little partnership going on. This is at 4 p.m. today. By the way, I'll copy paste this space if you want to be present for this one. And the reason I'm doing spaces with PAL because we have a little partnership going on. And when I have my Telegram group come out, my Telegram group is going to be heavily integrated with the PAL AI bot. And it is going to, aggregate everything I've ever said on YouTube and into an AI bot. And you can literally you can have a DM with digital me and ask me questions, and it'll answer you with everything I've ever said about whatever you're asking, whether it's, support resistance levels on optimism or tokenomics on chain, like whatever. It'll be able to, go through everything I've ever said and give that to you. And also we're kind of going to have a bunch of extra features in the bot where we're going to have a button that can do a rate my portfolio. You'll be able to get a rate my portfolio from digital me in the bot. You'll be able to get like a full coin analysis and comparative analysis. So it'll be like, all right, like tell me everything I'd want to know about HBAR. And then you could say compare HBAR to Algorand, and it'll like, I'm typing this big thing like PDF out with all like the criteria for each button. So for rate my portfolio, like what's the criteria? For comparative analysis, what's the criteria? So I have a bunch of work to do on the back end. We're hoping to get this out hopefully in March. I've never had my own Telegram alpha group before. It will be, like there will be some of it that's in front of a paywall, and there will be some of it that is behind a paywall, especially like the calls, setups, trade setups from myself and a handful of other traders as well. But obviously a lot of the main calls are just going to be for me, but I do want other traders in the group looking at setups as well. So if you're a proficient trader, if you're a profitable trader, send me some DMs and I will, and I will definitely do I'll have a couple people on the team in terms of like posting additional setups on top of the setups I'm looking at. And it's going to be really interesting, not to mention like with just the bot in there itself. I had an hour-long call with Simon, who I'm going to be interviewing today on the PAL space. We got a lot, we hashed a lot of stuff out. It's going to be really interesting. No one's ever really done something like this. I mean, there's a lot of Telegram alpha groups, but no one's ever done one like this in terms of, we're talking not only trade setups, not only, portfolio strategies, but we're also talking integrated with an AI bot. It's pretty crazy, guys. And of course, there'll be like a chat in there. Everyone will be able to communicate all the things. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be very exciting. I can't wait to launch that. And I'm super excited about it. No one's done it before, and that's why I'm like, this is crazy, So big shout out to PAL. They are absolutely amazing. The coin is up like 80% in the past couple of days. They're doing very well. And this space today is actually an AMA. So if you have any questions or bones to pick with PAL or whatever, or you just want to learn more, come on stage and ask a question. Anybody can come. So there you go. All right. So let's keep the ball rolling here. I did want to talk a little bit about my little competition I have going on here. I bought 10 altcoins, and $100 in 10 altcoins and $100 in Bitcoin. And so I'm like kind of keeping track every day on like who's winning. It's just like a fun little thing that I'm doing for fun on PHEMEX. Let me get a fresh refresh here on the other tab so you guys can see where it's at right now. It's actually pretty crazy. Everything was up like pretty good until a little bit into my call with Simon this morning. So right now, FET is actually winning the race. FET AI. I actually have a story about them in a little bit. They're up $8. Optimism very close behind. Near Render, Bitcoin, Sui, Singularity Net, and then Avalanche, Algo, Phantom, Injective are all down $1 or a couple pennies. Injective is in last place at the moment. So definitely it's fun to keep a close eye on who's winning that race. And also, obviously, if you want to sign up for PHEMEX, my favorite crypto exchange of choice, we have a massive partnership with PHEMEX. Make sure you click the link down below in the description for my trading group, the PAL Telegram Alpha group. Trading on PHEMEX is a prerequisite to be able to get alpha in the group. I think a lot of people. I think like doing the Telegram group, I do want to talk for a second that how big of a deal it is that I'm doing this, because I have been one of those guys that everyone knows I trade, and I trade a lot. I will go in I have gone in phases where I won't trade for like a couple of weeks, and then I'll trade every day for like 3 months, and then I'll take a break, and then I'll jump on. But I don't think people actually realize how much I trade. And with that said, it is a really big deal that I'm kind of opening the door up a little bit to let you guys in on what I'm doing and what I'm looking at, because I feel like there's really only a handful of traders out there, I would say less than 20, that are really, really posting good, solid, rock solid, amazing trade setups. They are hard to find. And I have been actually on the fence about how much I wanted to open up that door, because the thing with, trade setups and stuff like that is that if you get one wrong, you're the worst guy in the world. Why did I listen to you? You're an idiot, blah, 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 blah. But this is why the way I'm designing my PAL bot, the way I'm designing the Telegram group, the Alpha group, is because I'm putting more pressure on the people in there to learn to replicate what I'm doing and to learn how to replicate what I'm looking for. Because the way I trade, I run really tight stops. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm wrong, I don't lose, that bad. I'll lose 3%, 4%. I can take a 4% dent refill the position and try again. Like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of more of, if I'm basically throwing a lot of ideas at the wall, and whatever one sticks will be a very profitable trade, where the ones that don't stick, you only take a 3% dent. So learning that risk management is certainly a big lesson that I'm going to try to drive through in the Telegram group. And also, like, I'm going to be posting so many setups in there. And when I say I post a setup in the Telegram group, it will be a prerequisite for anyone who's there to know what I'm actually doing. I'm not just going to say go long on Solana. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to show the setup. I'm going to show the levels. I'm going to show the stop loss. I'm going to show the targets. I'm going to show everything. But for you to do it, I really want you to draw the same exact chart on your chart and have the alarm set, have the level set, know what you're doing. I'm not just going to say, yeah, go long Solana, go now. No. It's going to be an if this happens, do this. If that happens, do this, with a target here, and a stop loss here. It's going to be it's going to be a little bit more involved. I'm not going to, and that's why it's also more of an educational process for the people that get involved in the group, because you really need to follow what I'm doing instead of just, well, what am I going long or short? Like, no. I want it to be more of an educational experience. And then once you get up to par, then it kind of becomes all trading. But I do want to prioritize the part where you actually learn what I'm doing. You can teach what it was I forget the name. I forget how that phrase goes, but whatever. I would be quoting my dad if I said it anyway. So let's keep it rolling here. So, all right. I'm done ranting about the group. I just had an hour-long conversation about it this morning, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. I really am. And obviously, shout out to PHEMEX, and shout out to POW, shout out to Algorand Foundation, shout out to Crypto Chips, shout out to Market Cypher. I mean, what we've been doing lately is pretty cool. I'm just beyond grateful for the opportunities that I have, like with these interviews and stuff. It's a pretty big deal to me. All right. Let's check out a couple stories here outside, and then we'll obviously look at Bitcoin and everything like that. Actually, let's look at Bitcoin first. Because this really is, I mean, the stories are the stories, but this is the story. Here's the Bitcoin. Let me pull this one. No, that one's not that bad. All right. I'm really small down there for some reason, but whatever. At least you can see more of the chart here. All right. This is the Bitcoin daily chart. Okay. The $48,000 level right here, this one, that one, has been what I've referred to, and what a lot of traders have referred to, quote, the sore thumb for Bitcoin. When we came back in 2022, we came down, we popped up, look at where we got rejected right there. Okay. So once we lost that level, we never got it back. We also, hit this level a couple times here. We cut it here. I'm sure we hit it further back in the past. Yep. Even when we came down and retested right there. I mean, this level has been, time and time again has shown up. And obviously when we originally popped up, earlier, the end of the last year, beginning of this year, look at where I just put a text box on the screen. What am I doing? Look at where we got rejected right here, right there. Okay. So getting above 48 was the best thing that could have happened for Bitcoin, for sure. There obviously was a lot of caution involved on the daily chart. A lot of people worried about that money flow. Low key still worried about it a little bit, but it is, to be fair, it came down and is popping back up. But when you see curvature like that, you're trained to be scared of that. Although it did not exactly play out that time, it's still worth noting it. So 2-hour chart is really where we start to see the problem here. Actually, before we zoom in, I'm going to zoom back out here for a moment, just for a moment. So where we got rejected, around 50,400, 50,430, something like that. This is a level we've seen before. Back here. Right here. We got rejected from it right here. There's another touch right there. I know it looks a little messy, but this level has been around the block before. And that's where we got rejected, obviously at a previous support resistance level. That's just how crypto works. So what I'm saying here is when we go into the 2 hour is where you really start to see the big picture. Actually, let's look at the 4 hour first, and then I'll explain the 2 hour. All right, the 4 hour is pretty cut and dry. We got clearly rejected. We got a couple, kind of hammer type candles there. A hammer candle is where there's like a big long, see the long little tail right there. Couple hammers back to back to back to back. And then obviously a straight drop down. When you see the 2 hours, really when you get the picture, and here's the story. Here's the story. Anchor wave, trigger wave, trigger wave, trigger wave. Price go up on a 2 hour. A massive bearish divergence. It couldn't be more clear on the 2 hour. So when I said my thumbnail, did Bitcoin just get rejected? The answer is yes. yes, it did. Does that mean it's the end of the world? No, but we do need to realize the implications. Okay. Implication number one, if you don't have an alarm set at this $48,000 level right here, this level right here, I don't know what to tell you. You 1000%. I don't know if I have a couple separate Bitcoin charts, but just for the sake of argument and to practice what I'm preaching, I am even going to set another one right here on this chart. Okay. If we lose 48,000, I'm a little concerned because when you consider the volume profile, realize that, so see this volume here and now it scoops down and then there's volume here and volume here. All right. So we're looking at, 48.2, 47.3. Both these levels have volume. And look how fast Bitcoin ran. You know why? You know why Bitcoin went from over here to up there? Was because there wasn't any volume. See this? It's called a low volume node. It just ran right up. The point of control, where the most amount of volume is actually sitting back at 43,000. 43,000 is where all the volume is sitting right now. Yes, I talked about CPI data in the first part of the show. But yeah, so obviously, given the macro, given that the stock market has also slid back a little bit, also been rejected, this is not the best. So obviously, what do I do about it? What we do about it is we set an alarm on this level. That's the first thing you do about it. The second thing is, what happens? We're going to make an if-then statement. If then, I'll get to the super chat in a minute, but if-then statement, if we bounce off here, what do we do? And if we lose this level, what do we do? Okay, so let's talk about the bad news first. If we lose 48, this is where we zoom back out. We zoom back out. If we lose 48, I would really like to at least hold this one because this is a level that, we kind of double top down from here. If we lose that level, we're probably going to, I would feel that if we lose 47.1, we're probably going to like 44 or 43. Okay. So this is always if reacting. We're not guessing. We're not predicting. Bad traders guess. Good traders react. Okay. So with that said, we need to have alarms set on all these levels that we are concerned about. So when things happen, we can react. We can make a trade. We will have the wherewithal and the knowledge of, okay, this is happening. Now I'm going to react and do this. Okay. Scenario number 2 is we bounce off this and we're good. If we stay above 48,000, we're fine. If we make a little flag here, if we just bounce up, continue the staircase, that's all gravy. That's all gravy. And also, even zooming back, it's even look like a 1 hour chart, just so we can be a little bit more zoomed in. I would really like to see, this level be held right here, because, we want to stay above the previous high to not break structure. Like where we are now, we could easily take this on the chin and continue a bullish structure, higher highs, higher lows, with the lows staying above the previous high. I mean, that's the best case scenario. I do want to consider the curvature of the money flow on the 1 hour. Not my favorite. And I'm not saying we're doomed, but I am saying when things happen like this, like, you need to know the difference between this is just a natural normal retest, or this could take us to 43. Okay. And you need to, at least with trading, you only have to be better than the 51% of people. You know what I mean? You only need to be better than half of people. And most people are pretty bad at timing the market. So what I'm saying is that if you watch it like a hawk, 1, 2, know the levels and where the volume is, and you have keep a close eye on where the oscillators are, what's the money flow, what's the macro, you'll have a much bigger idea on how to make a move. So right now, to be honest with you, it doesn't look that bad because we're still above the previous high. Like we, rejected, got it. So this level at exactly 48.6, pretty important. So let's hope we hold that level. If that is important, but the more important level to me is 48,000 exactly. If we lose 48,000 exactly, AJ will be looking for shorts. Simple as that. All right. So I hope that it sums up the overall here with Bitcoin. I mean, when you look at the daily, it really isn't, the end of the world. I mean, there is a red dot on market cipher B. Dual band strength index is a 13 -1. It looks like a pretty cut and dry rejection, but it, we got to see where it plays out. The truth is about trading is that no one has a crystal ball. No one knows exactly what's going to happen next, but we can use all the tools around us, historical data. We can use the indicators. We can use levels. We can use alarms. To keep us more informed than the average Joe. As long as you are better than most people, you will be a profitable trader. And when I'm over here telling you that we have this massive bearish divergence on the 2 hour, I mean, it couldn't be more cut and dry. I mean, it's that simple. It's that simple. So watch these levels. If the alarm goes off, you guys know what to do. So I don't see this Rob G super chat. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see it. Darlin Keon Miller said, read the Rob G super chat. Oh, no. Yeah, that's for the end of the show. That's for the HBAR one. Yeah, it's the end of the show. Okay, cool. Also, I am filming a Solana price prediction today. Solana was one of the price predictions I did. It was one of the last ones I did at Hit Network. Watching that video, actually pretty crazy how much work I put into that video. It is, well, sometimes I watch my old videos and I'm just like, damn. Like I would just so much information smashed into one video. It's like almost too much to handle. So that prediction wasn't bad, but so the way Solana does its tokenomics is super weird. Solana's tokenomics are right now they say that it's 5 point something, hold on, 5.6%, 5.6. I'll show you this tab. I will show you this much. Okay, so Solana's tokenomics are weird because there's 78%, 76% circulating and 23% non-circulating, where some of them are staked, some of them are Alameda, some of them are like here. So SOL that is locked in a stake account, usually staked, is SOL that is generally a result of an investment in Solana or a grant by Solana Foundation. Each stake has its own unlock date, with some arrangements vesting regularly over time, because Solana generally has a linear vesting schedule. Okay, so like on tokenunlocks.com, you'll see some things have cliffs, like the sand cliff I was talking about. 9.2% of the sand tokens will come into circulation tomorrow. That's a pretty big implication for any sand holders out there. But Solana, on the other hand, is linear. All right. And what I mean by linear is this chart is inaccurate, by the way. But what I mean by linear is it moves like this. Okay. This chart is inaccurate. I mean, it says 605 here. That's not right. That's just not the right number. When you especially consider here, this is actually from Solana campus. It says 569. So I don't know why that other chart says 600,000. That's just, I don't get it. But the point is that it's linear. All right. But at the same time, there are days where there are bigger chunks than others. When you look at this, you'll see like right here on March 7th this year, I mean, we're talking a massive unlock. So it's linear, but some days are really big. Like on this day here, what is the number here? Here we'll actually look at the chart. March 7th. Yeah, so 544,000 Solana will come into circulation that day. Total unlock that day. Okay. So calculating how many Solana will be in circulation by the time we get to the all-time high. That's the point, right? A price prediction is market cap divided by circulating supply. But Solana is one of those coins that doesn't have a max supply. Like there's no point where it says, okay, all the coins are in circulation. No, it's an infinity coin. It's one coin. It's a coin that can go on forever. There are some things in place that kind of stop it, but not really. It is a pretty terrifying situation, to be honest with you. Why is it scary? One, when you look at this stake supply, Alameda's locked stake, 37.5% of locked stake is still Alameda. And there's a big unknown attached to it. Read this. Alameda's locked stake. Currently, this many Solana in locked state is owned by Alameda's wallet. This represents 37.5% of all locked stake. Given they are subject to a Chapter 11 bankruptcy, it is likely that this stake will immediately move once unlocked until the liquidation process is completed. Similar cases have taken as much as 10 years to complete. You see that? You see this line right here? Similar cases have taken as much as 10 years. So when is this Alameda Solana going to hit the market? I don't know. Some cases took 10 years. Like what? You realize how much Solana is in there? You get what? Like you know what I mean? So trying to determine how much Solana is going to be in circulation by November 2025 is not an easy job. Is not at all an easy job. And the problem is hold on, where's the other little thing here? Okay, that's the unlock schedule. Largest 1 second. Breakdown days from withdrawal to unlock. Yeah, so there is a pretty big unlock coming relatively soon. Well, where's the other part though? Hold on. Because the way Solana does their vesting is there's a disinflation rate. Here it is right here. So Solana's current inflation rate, 5.486%. Bullshit. No, it's not. No. If you go back and look at how much Solana has come in circulation in the past 6 months, in the past year, way bigger than 5%. That's BS. And I'll tell you, because the initial inflation rate was 8%. And then every year there is a 15% taper. So it goes down 15% every year, but it's not every year. It's every epoch year, where an epoch year is 180 epochs, as the length of an epoch varies from 2.5 to 3.5 calendar days, dependent on the network's performance. The actual inflation rate will vary. Yeah, no shit. So, and some of the fees are burned as well. When I originally did, I said all that to tell you this. I told you all that to tell you this. When I originally did, so what I did when I did my hit network price prediction was I literally said, okay, so when I figured out the next the epoch year would have been over a couple months away. So there would be this much Solana between now and when the disinflation rate happens, and then measure the rest of it until like once the disinflation happens, that rate until November of 2025. That's what I did. And at the time, I determined that 455 million Solana would be in circulation by November of 2025. Unfortunately, I should have just averaged a weekly average over the past 2 years. Even though there's disinflation, I was still off. I was still off because I went off of Solana's. See, I'm explaining that in this because I'm not explaining all of this in the price prediction itself. That it's so long-winded, but it needs to be said, because when you look at this, you'll realize that Solana's circulating supply is already 437. Already 437. So based off Solana's playbook saying, with the disinflation rate every epoch year, and we only have a 5.4 inflation rate, where it says on that website that actual inflation rate will vary, that's the truth. That's the truth, because I ran their numbers. According to what they said was going to happen when I did this, 5 months ago at Hit Network. And I said that 455 million Solana would be in circulation by November of 2025, where actually in real life, there's already 437 million in circulation. So I ran their numbers by their book, and I undershot. And I ran the numbers twice. My math was right, but it's not what happened, because actual inflation rates may vary. Not to mention the known unknowns of the stake Solana, the known unknowns of the Alameda Solana. So I ran my numbers again. And I also considered that Ben, when he did his Solana price prediction, said that there'd be 598 million Solana in circulation by November of 2025. I am going to say 543. And that is from a weekly average. And I did work in the disinflation rate in the weekly average as well. So it is, I forget. So this is what people need to understand. This is why I'm saying all this, because I really want to put context to the people who really care about this Solana price prediction, who really want to see like what goes into it, is because from the top of the last bull run to right now, Solana's supply has grown 44.5%. Solana's supply has grown 44.5%. That's crazy. That's crazy. So we realize when you take into account that where's the tab? Don't hide. Okay, there it is. You take into account that Solana's all-time high is $258. $258. When you run the numbers with that market cap, with today's supply, it's like 180. So Solana has so much more work to do to catch up to the supply. The supply has grown 44% since the day of the all-time high. And it's probably going to grow another 15% between now and November. So when people say $1,000 Solana, I want you to know what that means. I want you to know what that really, how that's a lot. That's massive. When people say 4,000, 2,000, okay. Yeah, maybe in 10 years. But the supply has grown so large. I mean, even a 40% increase of a supply is no joke. Not to mention it's still growing. Not to mention, there is, so definitely my point, watch that video. I put a lot of thought into it, obviously. I'm not going to get into all the decentralized. I will say, I'm not going to support Discover Crypto, but that's Solana price prediction that I did on Hit Network a couple months back. I want to say that my prediction was wrong because my my supply was wrong. But the research in that video was fire. Oh my God. But the number in that video is off for sure. I'll own that because I did it by their book, not what has actually happened with the supply. Because I'm going to say this in the video, because actual inflation may vary right on the website. And we don't know. It could be 10 years. Like they're just saying, come on, buy Solana. And one day we're going to unlock all this Alameda. What if Solana inflation pauses? I mean, what if the world stops spinning, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to happen. Yeah, man, a lot of stuff there. Man, I kind of got so sidetracked on talking about that, but it's worth talking about because people don't see that stuff, man. People do not see that. And when you notice it and you're like, why isn't everyone talking about this? It's one of those things like, huh? All right. This is an interesting story I will talk about. I do want to get to my homie Rob. He did send a super chat and I will get to that. But this is interesting. Bitcoin ETFs are sucking up 10x more Bitcoin than miners can produce. Huh? Not to mention halving's coming in like 60 days or something like that. That's pretty massive. I'm just got a couple headlines I want to run through here. Franklin Templeton applies for Ethereum ETF, $10,000 in 2024. Probably not. I could see, 4 or 5, but I really like the Ethereum ETF narrative is heating up. The debate over crypto regulation. I mean, what you call it? Right. Elizabeth Warren is really making things impossible. I don't want to really get into my Elizabeth Warren rant right now, but this whole digital asset anti-money laundering act, if that really goes through, I'm going to be pissed. This is interesting. Polymarket reveals Michelle Obama's odds to win the U.S. presidential election. The Polymarket is actually where I did my Super Bowl bets. It's a prediction market. It's not a shill. I'm not sponsored by them, but it's a prediction market where you can literally bet on anything. You can bet on anything. It's on the Polygon network, stuff like that. But that is interesting that there are odds for Michelle to win the election. I mean, this is probably very small odds. If you put $10 in, you'll probably win like 400 or something. I don't know the exact math, but that is interesting. And shout out to Polymarket. They're doing a really good job. It's a good platform. This story is crazy. So there's this artist behind this Vladimir Putin NFT that said he will burn a Picasso and Rembrandt paintings if Julian Assange dies. That is basically the story. Definitely check the story out in your spare time. I don't have time to totally get into it today. It's not really alpha or anything. It's just a crazy story. But yeah, Russian artist who previously created a series of NFTs depicting a blood-soaked Vladimir Putin said he will destroy a Picasso Rembrandt and an Andy Warhol masterpiece worth $45 million if WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange dies in prison. That is absolutely crazy. So so Andrea Markin's art project's Dead Man Switch has seen him gather 16 famous artworks in a 29-ton safe, along with 2 barrels filled with an extremely corrosive substance. After 24 hours, the barrels are rigged to destroy the art worth $45 million. Only when someone close to Julian Assange confirms daily that he is still alive when the timer will be reset and the acid is kept at bay. If Assange is freed, the art will be returned to its owners. The project is inspired by Assange's fight against his extradition to the U.S., where he's charged under the Espionage Act and will make his final appeal next week. If unsuccessful, his supporters say he could face 175 years in prison. And here's a little overview of the way they are holding all those $45 million worth of art hostage. That's actually pretty punk rock. That's some of the most punk rock shit I've ever seen in my life, bro. This guy's like, nah, I'm gonna steal all this art, and if this guy's dead, I'm gonna destroy it all, and it's your fault. That's pretty punk rock. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. Want you guys to be aware of Avalanche Upgrade. the Durango upgrade. It's on the beta net as we speak, or it's about to. Let me read the thing really fast. Where is it at? Yeah, the AVAX Durango upgrade is set to be implemented on February 13th, which is today. This follows the pre-release of code for the blockchain upgrade on February, scheduled to activate the Fuji testnet on 11 a.m. Eastern time, half hour ago. This holds significant importance to the Avalanche network. So primarily the Durango upgrade aims to bolster cross communication and enhance the network scalability, setting the stage for its mainnet release. So yeah. So, it's this is big. It's going to make, Avalanche is already pretty kick-ass. I'm not going to lie. Pretty cool. I bought a little bit of Avalanche. I think, it's one of those coins that I feel like it's really going to run. I feel like there is an upside to it. What I'm saying, hold on, let me do this. So with Avalanche, we're talking a top 10 coin, 14 billion. Yeah, I could see Avalanche maybe going to like 150. I think it could 10x. I think Avalanche could get to $400. Yeah, but I don't think it could go much further than that. I don't think we're gonna see $1,000 Avalanche or anything like that this run anyway. Yeah, I think there is a limit to how hard it can pump, but I still think it will probably 10x. I would like to hope that Avalanche is going to 10x. I would like to hope that. I'm not going to say that with the strongest degree of certainty, but a relative degree of certainty. Yeah, obviously back to the Warren thing, the jobs, tens of thousands of jobs because of the implications of, the Blockchain Association urges lawmakers to consider the implications of imposing regulations that could threaten jobs and reduce the strategic advantage of the U.S. economy over crypto. Man, Senator Warren, dude, she just needs to take a lap. Just go home. I really hope that bill doesn't get passed, man. That would be a bummer. And I wanted to work this story into my Bitcoin TA because Peter Schiff calls the Bitcoin price surge a pump and dump. Of course he said this. But to be fair, it did just straight get rejected at a pretty big level. So another cool story, Fetch AI, popular AI project. A lot of people partners with Telecom to advance AI blockchain synergy. Pretty big story there. I feel like Fetch is going to be a winner in the AI space. Obviously the graph, I like AGIX, I like FET, I like PAL. I know Render has some AI implications. All projects I will be involved with at some level, but want you guys to be aware of that partnership. And then also Ledger. Ledger has been fighting to try to be relevant again. Ledger to simplify crypto purchases with Coinbase integration. They said, all right, we know that we've been compromised. We know that a lot of people don't trust us anymore, which is unfortunate. But I think partnering up with Coinbase is really the only thing they can do to save themselves. The only thing with that is Coinbase is going to have a thumb on everything in your ledger. Kind of an oversight thing, maybe. I don't know. But you know what I didn't know about Ledger? I thought that Goody proved me wrong on this one. I didn't know this because I wrote and typed so many scripts for Ben and Ledger that, cold storage. What does cold storage mean? I thought that if I had my Ledger and threw it in the ocean, that crypto is lost forever. No, that's not actually true. Really, as long as you type the code, you can get into the wallet. It's not in the device. I thought that it was in the device and my crypto's in here and you can't get my crypto unless I plug it in. No. If you can put your crypto on a ledger, throw it in the ocean and still access your crypto. I didn't know that. I thought because there's real cold storage. Goody's going to fly in tonight. And I'll get him to explain this to you guys because I was very confused. We actually argued about it in Miami. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? It's cold storage. It's cold, Goody. And he was like, no, you don't understand. And I didn't get it. But now I do now. But it took a lot of explaining. I'm not going to lie. Just what my point here is a lot of the reading and what they are saying on their website is kind of misleading, because cold storage in my mind meant cold storage, not confusing. Anyway, yeah, exactly. The ledger is just a key to the blockchain. Exactly. But based off of what a lot of their reading is it makes you believe that no one can access your stuff unless you plug in your cold storage device. That's what some of the reading implies. Anyway, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's so fetch. There is nothing wrong with Ledger as a device or a company. That's questionable. They've been compromised a couple times. Oh, and this argument, guys, by the way, what I'm saying, this whole thing about the private key, this was like 6 months ago. Obviously, I know this, but I just wanted to say that because some people thought what I used to think, which is why it's worth talking about. All right, that's fetchy. All right. Oh yeah. Let's do my guy Rob here. His super chat from earlier. Okay. Rob G, $10 super chat. 90% of my bag is in HBAR. Do you still believe it will 10 to 20x at this current price? You said $1.20. What makes you believe this? The coin barely moves and other coins are blowing past it. All right, Rob. Don't FOMO. You got to be patient, bro. I mean, just because some coins pump and other coins don't pump, that doesn't mean you're wrong. Do I think HBAR can? Well, first of all, you're kind of stepping on my toes here, bro, because I have an HBAR price prediction coming. My HBAR price prediction is revised from my hit network price prediction, considering I changed the way I do them. At the end of the day, it comes down to your conviction, Rob. At the end of the day, it comes down to your conviction, not what I say, not what Ben says, not what Twitter says, what you believe. Okay. Do I think that HBAR has an extremely massive advantage over 90% of other blockchains in crypto? Hell yeah, I do. Have you seen my interview with Lehman Baird? Like, did you watch it? Did you hear what he said? Do you know how many, Fortune 5 companies are in the governing council? Do you know you realize in the future people will be using Hedera and not even realize they're using Hedera in everyday life? Like, it really comes down to your conviction, man. I have conviction, personal conviction in Hedera, because I believe in math and I believe in Lehman Baird. Lehman Baird is a freak in terms of mathematical accolades. Like, this guy is like, I don't mean like a freak and like a bad thing. He's an anomaly. That's the word I should have said, not freak. He's an anomaly. And he solved this issue. He solved this what is it? The anti-Byzantine fault tolerance or something like that. I forget the term off the top of my head, but basically scalability and speed. He solved this equation, and it was a math problem that he just came back to. No one else could have figured out. And the guy has done something that no one else is doing. And so, Rob, it's really not about, if you're holding HBAR, just, oh, did I really just do that? What happened? Okay, sorry about that. I got run there for a second. My thing happened. Okay, I'm good. Cool. I accidentally X'd out of my StreamYard, and I thought that it took me off completely. But Rob, what I was saying is that I don't want you to hold HBAR or to put all this stuff in just because one person said one thing. My price predictions are predictions. They're not law. I'm not selling my bag unless this happens. Don't fall in love with your bag. Don't think, oh, well, he said this, so I'm just going to sit here and wait with all of my money because one person said one thing. I don't want you guys to do that. My predictions are my predictions, and I will use as much information I can get. And this is why I take my price predictions very, very seriously. Now, I hopefully that one is better right there. I think I fixed it. I take my price predictions. Actually, let me check my audio. Okay, yeah, I fixed it. I take my price predictions very, very seriously. Very seriously. And the reason I do that is because I have seen price predictions go wrong. I've seen people say numbers way too high, way too big numbers, and kind of mislead the audience. And people will say, "Oh, it's at 60 cents. I bought it at 5 cents. It's at 60 cents, but this guy said it's going to $5, so I'm going to wait." And then it goes from 60 to 50 to 40, all the way down the hill. And I'm not letting that happen to my audience. That will not happen to Grogger. Impossible. Impossible situation. So my point is that I want you guys to, when I do a price prediction, I don't want you to say, AJ said this, that means it's 100% going to happen. No. I want you to think, AJ said this. How can I prove him wrong? Or how can I add to it? Or what can, I want you to play devil's advocate. I always play devil's advocate with my own ideas. I want you to play devil's advocate with my ideas. And if you're considering buying something, if you're considering buying any coin, any influencer, not even just me talks about, I want you to write a list. Pros, cons, questions. Think. Don't just say, "Oh, one person said one thing. Here I go." No. We don't do that. I don't want you to do that. I will make my own price predictions, and I take them much more seriously than other people. And all the numbers I say are always probably going to be a little bit lower than what everyone else is saying. I'm keeping it a little super duper realistic. But with that said, do I give influencers weight? Yes. Do I hope people respect my opinion? Yes. Do I put more effort into my price predictions than any other influencer? Yes, I do. But with that said, that doesn't mean what I'm saying is the Bible. You still have to do your own homework. What I don't like is the idea that if someone listens to a crypto influencer and says, "Oh, now I don't need to do my research. I listened to that video." No, that's not it. I want this to be the beginning of your day in crypto. I want, if you're really taking this seriously, you should be studying like college. This is the most serious college exam. The bull run is a college exam, and if you ace it, you're set for life. You're set for life. Listening to this show, listening to Ben, listening to Wendy, listening to Auckland, that's just the beginning. That's just the start. It's not the Bible. It's just the first page. And then you open the book and fill it in yourself. Researching every day. Hours every day. I have spent months of my life learning about crypto. Months, dedicated times. Just every day. I would listen to Ben and I would read and I would do charts and I would write and I would just did crypto. I live, breathe, ate, slept crypto. And the point here is that don't just listen to one person say one thing and say, "Yep, there I go. I don't have to do any research now." And if they're wrong, I'm going to blame them. That ain't it. That ain't it. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. And if you're not doing that own work, if you're not doing your own homework, when it all comes, you're only going to get out what you put in. And if the extent of your crypto research is listening to a couple people, you're not, that ain't it, man. Bitcoin has kind of eaten a bit there. Yeah, of course. Well, it's still technically right above. Okay, so it has tested this one. My alarm didn't go off that yet, which is weird. Oh, and you know why? Because my alarm's set on this one. And that's the one that matters. 48 matters more to me. This level here is just this local high, which I really would like to hold, to be honest. It would be really, if Bitcoin, it could still bounce right there. See how it's fighting that level? It is fighting that level. That's good. That's good. Would really, really need to hold that level. If we go below 48,000, that's when I'm going to start looking for shorts for sure. That's when I'm going to start doing for shorts. He said, asking AJ is not doing your own research. That's fair. I mean, it's kind of like, how do I put this? when I was in college, I took a philosophy class. And Mr. Jacob, man, Mr. Jacob, uh, he called us cognitive carpenters. Okay, people that kind of overthink everything on purpose. All right, and there is a lot of dark stuff in in philosophy, but I'm not even going to. My point here is that one day we were in class, and this we did this thing where you could only ask each student could only ask 2 questions in class. You could only ask 2 questions. If you couldn't ask a third question, you only get 2. That's it. You're done. And I really like that he did it that way. And here's the thing, is that some people would ask questions, and we had like a conversation after class. And he said, "You know why I do it that way?" And I said, so people don't like keep going because some people don't have any social awareness and just keep asking 100 questions. He's like, "That's a part of it, but that's not it." I was like, "Then why do you do it?" He said, "I judge people by which questions they ask. By which questions they ask. Because if they were actually reading the book, they were actually reading the material, if they were actually paying attention in class, they would be asking a higher level of question." So a lot of times I judge where people are at in terms of your journey in crypto, which is not a judgment, but I would know where you're at based off the questions you ask and based off of the your reaction to a thing happening or a thing not happening. Like anyone that points and blames influencers because something happened, that's someone who didn't do their research. That's someone who didn't do their homework, man. Like I listen, I got straight A's in school, guys. Straight A's the whole time. I took my normal education very seriously, mainly because if I didn't get an A, I couldn't go racing on the weekends. I wanted to race dirt bikes. And if I didn't get an A, I couldn't race my dirt bike. And I would race my dirt bike. So that was it. So I really look at crypto from, and I'm not like a calculus crypto guy. I'm not like a Benjamin Cowan. Benjamin Cowan, much respect to him, but I can't do what he does. I don't want to do what he does. I want to kind of have a blend of mathematics, education, and make it fun. I don't want just math all day. Like I would lose you guys. I don't want to go above your. I want to make it digestible, palatable for everybody, a larger demographic. But I will always compare. I will always compare crypto education to real life education. And I know where you are. I know if you're actually learning or if you're just watching a couple videos and saying, "Oh, I'm in crypto." You're only going to get what you put in, guys. You're only going to get out what you put in. And it's one of those things where I ask yourself, am I going to sit here and read articles for 4 hours? Am I going to sit here and Google every indicator until I know what it is and how to use it and how to use it in practice and trade? Or am I just going to watch a couple videos? So, yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. I want you guys to be successful, man. I do. I want to be successful. I've been working at this stuff for a long time. I've been working at this stuff for a long time. This has been a journey for me. It's been no joke. And yeah, so IMJ asked, AJ, do you still work with for Ben? I'm not curious. That's what the situation is. So yeah, I mean, guys, obviously, so the point, so I left the network. I'll tell you. I have nothing to hide, and it's the truth. And I'd rather tell the truth, which does matter. I left the network, and I would have left sooner. But obviously Ben had to get his ducks in a row because, as of right now, Ben is paying me. And that's okay because I'm getting to a point where I won't need him to pay me. And I'm getting pretty close to that, actually. And once I can get my channel up fully working, the PHEMEX deal, that was big help. That was a big help. And also there's this balance between, well, if I don't get paid anymore, I'll be able to pay for my food and pay for my rent, pay for my airplanes and all my things, but I won't be able to DCA as much crypto. I want to get as much crypto as I possibly can. Because if I'm just making it buy, I'm not going to have the enough to put over on the top. So completely honest right now, Ben pays me, and I left Hit Network to come here. And when I originally left Hit Network, I didn't have a YouTube channel. When I originally left Hit Network, this YouTube was just the YouTube I looked at YouTube with. I was Ben's writer. Yeah, I made videos. I did my face predictions and stuff on the channel, but really, I was Ben's writer. That's what I did at Hit Network. And when I first left Hit Network and came here, my channel, I was starting to promote my channel. I knew my channel was going to happen, but it didn't happen yet. I mean, this channel is only 3-4 months old. Nothing crazy. So right now, I don't write for Ben anymore. I do get to do whatever I want in terms of the content I make and what I'm working on. I would like to be putting more videos out, but I also have to ask myself, am I going to write this book, or am I going to do videos every single day? So it's not easy to do both. You know what I mean? So I do. My name is AJ Writes Crypto, and I can't have that name unless I write something, right? So because I grew up, I was always been very creative, been a writer type. I writing scripts. I did lore for a couple NFT projects. I've been writing a lot of things, but at the same time, I need to have something published to own that name. I can't have that name unless I publish something. So some people say, dude, what are you doing? You have your live stream, but you're only putting out 3, maybe 4 videos a week. Well, I'm like, dude, I'm writing a book, man. I'm trying. You know what I mean? So I'm giving it hell, guys. I do want to see you guys to see that, and I'm going to continue to give it hell. And to answer your question is that yes, right now Ben does pay me, and the point of this whole thing is for this channel to grow to a point where I have all my own sponsors and all my own everything, where Ben won't need to pay me anymore. And we're not there yet. We're getting there. We're definitely getting there for sure, but not yet, and that's okay. I mean, I'm endorsed by one of the largest crypto influencers ever. Ben at his peak, Ben basically was crypto. He owned that shit, and that's amazing. And for me to be the only creator on the roster, I mean, J Chains is here, but J Chains and Ben are much more integrated. I do some stuff with Ben, but one day at a time, man, baby steps. You gotta crawl before you run. This channel is a new thing, and I'm okay with it, man. I'm totally honest, But don't you think getting more followers would help your book? Yeah, sure. But it's a double-edged sword, man. It's a double-edged sword. I think they're both going to help each other, and because that's my name, I have to have a book. I have to. It's not I'll do it later. No, I have to. So, but HyperRam, you're thinking too short term, bro. Because I'm not just gonna write one. There's not just a book, books, All right. Baby Yaga with that $100 super chat. Shout out to Baby Yaga. Damn. Thank you. That's crazy. $100 super chat. What a boss. What a boss. Well, what I'm going to do, Baby Yaga, is I'm going to send back this $100 because you only have 1% of quant in your portfolio. You only have 1% quant, man. I'm going to send this $100 back because you need more quant. All right, let's do this thing. 900K. Goal is 3 million. Okay, very reasonable portfolio. Bitcoin 41, Ethereum 27, XRP 9, Cardano 8, Algo 4, Matic 4, HBAR 2, Near 2, OP 2, Quant 1. Okay. Yeah, man. I'm good with this. Because your goal is, a 3.2x, 3.1x, something like that. 900K to 3 million. I'm good with this. Would this be my portfolio if my portfolio was 900,000? No, it wouldn't be. But it would be similar. A little bit too much Bitcoin for me. but I understand. I understand. I like the ETH. The XRP is good. Cardano good. I mean, what's going to be a bummer, Baby Yaga, is when all your gains come from Algomatic, HBAR, near OP Quant, and the other coins are kind of crawling. When things pop up, and like when Rob's super chat earlier, saying like HBAR is standing still, so the other coins are blowing by it. You're being impatient. You're being impatient. Let it cook. Let it cook. It's going to have its day. Remember that video I made like a week or so ago where Algorand's market cap went from like this to this in like 2 months? That's what's going to happen, except better and bigger and faster. It's going to be insane. You'll know when the bull run comes. This little run up we're having, this isn't shit. It's nice. It's pre-having type activity. This is pre-having type price movement. This isn't full run price movement. Okay, so let's keep that in perspective. But for Baby Yaga here, I mean, 3 million goal, 900K portfolio. Yeah, man. The point of Rate My Portfolio is the likelihood of someone achieving their goal. Do I like the distribution? Not really. Are you way too top heavy into Bitcoin? Yup. Do I like the coins you have? Yes, I do. And I'm warming up to OP. OP has terrible tokenomics, but I still think it's going to pump pretty good. And that takes a lot for me to say. But the point here, Baby Yaga, is that despite the fact I don't like your distribution, I still think you will achieve your goal. And that's what matters. I'm going to give you an 82. And thank you for the super chat. Seriously, it's a lot. Thank you. Shout out to my guy, Baby Yaga. Appreciate it. All right, man. I'm going to get out of here. I got to I got to do TA on Ben's live stream at 12:30. I'd like to thank each and every one of you. There's 305 people watching the show. And, that's crazy. Sometimes I look at like the other influencers' numbers, the Auckland Dailies, the Georges, the Bens, and I'm like, damn, like I'm so far behind. But then I think to myself, dude, you're so far ahead. Like you've only been doing this for like full time for what, 3.5 months, not even 4 months. Like we just got started. And it's completely up to me. At the end of the day, this whole thing is completely up to me. And I'm gonna give it hell. I'm 1,000% going to give this hell the whole way down the street. And it wouldn't be possible without you guys. All 305 people. So y'all mean the world to me. Shout out to Grogger Nation. You guys are awesome. Thank you to my sponsors. You guys know who you are. Shout out to Crypto Face. Shout out to Ben. And shout out to Hit Network because they inspire me to be better every day. And I say that with not ill intent. I say that as in competition. I'm competitive. And you gotta try harder than your competition. And that's the point. We're traders. This is trading. We're trading is a competition. There's someone who wins and there's someone who loses. And when someone loses, they got their money taken from them by the other person. It's a pretty cutthroat game. You got to be honest about that. So at the end of the day, man, what side of the fence are you going to be on? Are you going to be on the side of the fence where you studied for 4 hours a day and did everything you could to put more money in? Or are you going to be on the side of the fence that blames people, points fingers, and gets upset? What side are you going to be on? It's up to you. Get rich or get wrecked. Love you guys.